See, they shouldn't be able to play ads without your permission. I say you don't have my permission to play ads, so you shouldn't be allowed to, because that's how it works. Okay, episode 6. Those who pick up, those who are picked up. I'm scared. In case you're wondering, Ainz knows Pandora's actor the most since he created him. He mainly memorized the Guardians' characteristics and skills, not their personality. Apart from Albedo, who he seems to have a thing for. By the way, Cocytus is from Greek myth. It's one of the domains of Hades, the Greek underworld. It's the frozen lake where the dead are kept for the 3 judges, for judgment. Should they be given passage to Elysium or Tartarus? In Norse myth, Cocytus is the equivalent to Helheim, the realm of the dead. Ah! Helheim. Fun. My understanding of Norse mythology mainly stems from World of Warcraft Legion, where they had people like Helya, Thor, and Odin and things like that. So I'm very entry level to that, but I found it cool. Then I just started watching Vikings, which is a really cool TV show. Highly recommended. Fucking love it. Very raw. All right, episode 6. Let's do this. Oh, he's voiced by King Bradley. Look at that glorious mustache. Look at it.
Welcome back to the Magician's Guild, Lord SEBAS.
Here's the question. Can I ask? Here's the question. Where does the hair end and the mustache begin? Why did he's like King Bradley in another game. I love it. I fucking love it. Oh my god. Mustache. It's like just a beard, man. Look at him. He takes no shit from anybody. I love it.
Welcome back to the Magician's Guild, Lord SEBAS. Always a pleasure.
I'd like to see the spell and cantrips list, if you please.
As you wish. One moment.
Is this Bradley's VA? What? Oh! Did they just make a D&D reference?
I'm not sure I understand this floating board spell. Would you explain its function and general uses?
Of course. The floating board spell. A first-tier conjuration of the glowing board. It floats and is easy to move. Very useful for transporting items. Often used in public work projects.
I see. Then I would like to purchase one such magic scroll. If none are available, please make one.
We appreciate your business as always. That will be 1 gold and 10 silver coins, please.
Yeah, not Bradley. Damn it. Wait, I believe this is after he died, so they had to change voices. He's dead? Oh, dude. Fuck, we're losing a lot of talent. So Bradley's VA is dead. Griffin's VA is dead. Monokuma's VA has dementia. Oh, man. Oh. Dude, we are losing so much talent. He died a few years ago. Oh, man. That just changes my outlook on Full Metal Alchemist. Oh, man. Oh. He passed away in 2017. Oh, that... Wow. I just got a chill down my spine. It's so sad. We're losing so much good talent. 1952 to 2017. So that's like what? 65 years. 65? 65 is not that old at all. Wow. Damn. Damn.
Go, Shadow Demon. Deliver this message for me. Tell Solution I'm looking around the city and will return later than normal.
Damn.
Now then. I think I'll head over there today.
Wow. Mural from Courage the Cowardly Dog. We're losing so many good VAs, it's fucked. Meanwhile, we still have, like, Justin Bieber and Paul and shit. Have them. We don't even want them. What the hell?
Shadow Demon, go.
What's going on? Did he just throw a corpse out? What the hell?
Please remove your hand. You have my attention.
I honestly think this is why they created car batteries. They needed enough electricity to torture people, but they didn't always have a generator handy. So they needed enough electricity that's portable enough, but also, you know, strong enough. And they just dumped it on the street. What the fuck? I mean, it's not like she's an OnlyFans model that hit 30. You don't just dump her on the street.
Are you in need of some assistance?
Your deductive reasoning, good sir, is level 1.
Are you in need of some assistance? If that is the case, then simply ask.
I'm sorry, her lungs are collapsed and she can't even breathe. Asking might be a little difficult.
Hey, old-timer. Where the hell did you blow in from?
I don't know. He's on a street. You tell me, you fat fuck. Please, can you like cut open his stomach or something? That would be amusing to watch. I would absolutely love to watch this guy try to hold his insides out. It would be hilarious.
Well? What the crap? Let go of me!
You see, people don't try to bring people down. Strong people don't bring people down. They raise them up. Be like SEBAS. Be like Darth Vader.
I'm assuming you know this woman.
She's one of my employees, what of it?
So she's human, yet you forced, or at least allowed, extreme violence upon her. And where were you planning to take her while she was in that sack?
To the temple! She's very sick!
In that case, you wouldn't mind if I decided to take her in your state.
Wait! Legally speaking, she belongs to us!
Oh, what? What? You're saying she's property?
If you take her away, it would be kidnapping.
Kidnapping? Really? With what you're doing?
And a proper-looking butler like you shouldn't get mixed up in trouble behind his master's back, right?
I like the vibes I get from this guy. His maids all have choke collars, so I can immediately tell that he's into some kinky shit. But I think in your case, he's going to use the metal ones instead.
A valid point. Do you want me to help you, miss? Do you want me to help or not?
Wow, she's dehydrated. She's completely dehydrated.
I'm not inclined to help those who choose prayer over action. They waste their lives wilting away, like flowers waiting for the rain to sustain them.
See, that's not the way God works. God doesn't answer your prayers by helping you. Instead, you need to help yourself and then beg for forgiveness.
However, you are fighting to stay alive. So, let go of your fear and be at peace. As of this moment, you are under my steadfast protection.
Like hell she is! I never agreed to that!
Like hell, you say?
I mean, I'm pretty sure she never agreed to that sort of behavior. But you know how it works, right? An eye for an eye and all that.
An immoral blob like you has the goal to imply that my words don't have merit?
No.
Good. Then we shall take our leave of you.
Wait!
Is there something else?
No. It's just, if you take her, I won't last through the night. I'm in deep with 8 fingers, man. You know what that means?
That means he should chop off 2 of your fingers?
They control this entire kingdom for the shadows. I'm begging you, put her down, walk away, and pretend this didn't happen.
I couldn't possibly do that.
Have a heart, old man! They'll kill me! Slowly!
Good!
Because saving a person who's in trouble is always the right thing to do!
Sorry, what now? What?
Holy hell! Are these all platinum?
Take that and hire an adventurer or something.
Excuse me? The fuck are you doing?
It should be more than enough to flee the country and live comfortably with.
Excuse me?
If you run as fast as you can, perhaps you'll live long enough to use it all.
Now hold on a fucking minute. This is unacceptable behavior.
Welcome back, Lord SEBAS. How, if I may ask, what the hell is that?
I found her.
I see. I doubt you meant it as a gift for me, so what do you intend to do with it?
Wow. Rich people, am I right?
A good question. For now, I think I will have you tend to her wounds for me.
Heal it? Seriously? Could you not have left it at a temple for such treatment?
I could have. Imagine me, of all people, not realizing such a thing.
I will dispose of it if you wish.
No, I have already brought her this far. It would be a waste not to think of some effective use for her.
Why do I feel like removing this woman's eyeballs and forcing her to eat them? Meh.
If you don't mind, I would like you to start by assessing her physical condition.
Very well, Lord SEBAS. Right away.
Hey, that's a high ceiling. Maybe we could decorate the room with her insides. I hear the small intestines are long enough to go around the world twice. I'm sure we won't run out. King Bradley's VA passed away from cancer in 2017, and Griffin's VA passed January 7, 2021 at the age of 43. Dude, fuck. Would people please stop dying? 43 is way too young. Way too young. Especially in first world countries. 43 is way too young. Dude. Can you at least give us some water?
I'll leave you to it then.
She's looking like Alphonse's body. With bruises.
How could I act so foolishly? Saving a person who's in trouble is always the right thing to do.
Why did you give that other guy money?
That philosophy was also the motto of my creator, Lord Touchme. He lived and breathed justice. Perhaps that is the reason I endeavored to do the same.
Now you need to go back there and kill that guy who you gave money to.
Though it could yet prove to be a curse. How is our guest?
It has 3 venereal diseases, including syphilis, several cracked ribs, and broken fingers.
That tells me she was used as a prostitute. So are we gonna go and gut that guy or what? Like, come on. Come on, you can't tell me it's unjustified.
And the tendons in its right arm and left leg have been torn.
Really? You're telling me it's come on.
Upper and lower front teeth were removed.
Really? Okay, so what? I'm not allowed to torture this guy now?
It also has an anal fissure.
At what point is it justified for us to torture that guy?
There's the possibility it is addicted to some kind of drug.
Really? Okay, so at what point?
In addition, there are multiple bruises and lacerations across...
Can she be treated?
Oh, okay, so at what point can we justify gutting that guy? At what point? Was it the heroin addiction, or was it the rape, or was it the removal of the teeth, or was it the breaking of the legs and the arms? I mean, come on, at what point is it justified? Where do you draw the line?
Easily.
Then please see to it.
That is not my specialty, Lord.
Oh my god!
Lady Pistonia's healing magic would be better suited by far.
Solution, you have the necessary healing scrolls in your possession, yes? Then use one of them on her.
But Lord SEBAS, those scrolls were graciously provided by the Supreme One to serve his purposes. Would it not be sinful to waste one on lowly human scum?
Where's my hammer?
That is in order.
As you wish, Lord SEBAS.
I'm thinking of nailing her to the wall.
Forgive me if I'm being too forward, but would restoring its physical state be sufficient for you to engage in whatever activities you have planned?
Really? What could... Oh, for fuck's sake.
Once her treatment is complete, draw a hot bath and clean her up. Make her comfortable. I'll buy something for supper in the meantime.
If I may, sir, tending that woman's mental state will involve much more than we're capable of.
We get it. Hot cocoa and teddy bears. Now fucking do it. The woman's like an inch away from death.
Perhaps we should call Lord Ines.
This is not something Lord Ines needs to be bothered with. Am I clear?
I would have understood SEBAS's intentions if he had agreed to make you my plaything. Once you were fully recovered, of course.
You can have that fucking fat guy as your plaything, but leave the girl alone.
We still have time before he returns, though. More than enough to see how flavorful you are.
See, I have nothing wrong with people torturing strong people. It's people torturing weak people that pisses me off. That's what pisses me off. It's not the torture that pisses me off. It's who they're torturing.
It looks like the healing magic did its job perfectly. How are you feeling, young lady? I'm sure you're hungry. Eat before it gets cold. Here.
This song feels familiar.
As long as you're here, you're free from any kind of danger. When you wake, you'll still be in this bed. You have my guarantee, as head butler of the Pleiades.
Thank you very much.
Please, think nothing of it. Now that I've taken you in, I will ensure your safety to the best of my ability.
Why didn't anyone try to help
They cannot hurt you now. You're all right.
You know, I was browsing the internet today, and by browsing, I mean this was recommended to me. And it was a video of this little puppy at a supermarket. And the puppy was basically just barking at people. And this couple gave the puppy a little bit of, I think it was like meat or a slice of ham or something. And the puppy followed them home. It was a little dog about this size, tiny. Clearly orphaned. Clearly the mother was run over or something. And it was literally in front of the supermarket, and it followed these people home. It must have followed them like almost a kilometer, you know, completely away from where they found it. Hundreds of people must have passed this poor dog. It must have been crying and barking at hundreds of people all day. And everyone ignored it. There was another video I was watching of this poor female dog barking at people, and next to a pole was a puppy that I think got hit by a bike or something, or was stepped on by someone. And the poor dog, as soon as these people actually came and tried to pick it up, the poor pup was actually crying. He was obviously injured, either broken or fractured bones. And there were so many people that would have just walked past this dog and these dogs and just ignored them. Like, I remember back when I was in Bosnia, like, I was with my cousin and there were, friends that were playing soccer out in this soccer field in the middle of nowhere. And there was this stray pup that I saw. And, I was patting it and gave it some of my lunch. And I remember my cousin saying, leave him, he's probably diseased. I wanted to take him home. My cousin wouldn't let me, but I wanted to take him home. And I'm entirely shocked by humans' lack of empathy. I know that most people have empathy, but I am absolutely shocked by the lack of empathy people have toward people and creatures who aren't directly related to them, It's like they'll have empathy for their own friends, family, and pets, but as long as they're not within their circle, it's almost like they have no empathy for them. And that's really what disgusts me about humanity as a whole. They like to preach that they're good people, that they're nice and whatnot, but as soon as it's someone outside of their immediate circle, it's so much easier just to ignore them. They just sort of don't pay attention. They don't pay attention to that crying kid at the shopping center that's clearly lost, crying for mother, but everyone just ignores the kid. Or the poor little dog that's starving. Or, someone that's struggling. Like anyone. The fucking old lady trying to, lift her baggage and put it in her car. It disgusts me. It really does. And those same people are going to be the people that are like, have a heart. What the fuck? It really gets me. It really gets me. And for people like that, I can't help but not feel anything. For people that are like that, particularly self-centered people that have no regard for others, in my mind, there's sort of like this switch that just flips where they go from like, they're people, I see them as people, to I just see them as monsters. Like, yeah, you feel, but you only feel for yourself. You don't feel for others. You're incapable of feeling for others. Therefore, why should I even regard you as alive? Why should I even press on the brake when you're crossing the road? I should just turn on my wind wipers. It's that sort of thing. It's like you are adding absolutely nothing to the world. You are just taking from it like a leech, like a disease, a bacteria. It disgusts me. It really does. People are people. I get what you're saying, 100%. But it just, unless it directly involves them, most people turn a blind eye to most things. It doesn't matter how little or how big it is. Like preventable diseases or exorbitant price of medicine. They don't care until they need it and they can't get it. Then they'll start protesting, they'll start picketing, they'll start doing the whole 9 yards. But until then, they couldn't give a fuck. They won't give a shit about other people's right to live the way they'd like to live, even if it doesn't hurt anybody. Like civil liberties and rights and marriage rights and, freedom of expression and things like that. People do not care until it affects them directly. And then they'll care. That's what I don't like about humanity. And I get that nature is nature. And in nature, there is no, there's none of that, good, bad. It's nature is nature. It's not fair. It's cruel, but that's how it functions as an organism, you know? That's how it functions as an ecosystem. And I understand. But animals are not the ones claiming to be a civilized society. They're not the ones pretending to be something they're not. It's humans that like to put themselves on the pedestal and say, we are a civilized society, a nations of, of rules and compassion. But then they sweep homelessness, poverty, unemployment under the rug and pretend like it's not an issue. They'll be like, look, we good at sport, gold medal, best in the world, but our fucking unemployment rate is 30% and 20% of our population is homeless. Your billionaires that pay zero taxes are flying into space in penis rockets, but mothers can't feed their kids in the morning. And you have the audacity to call yourself a civilized society. I don't pretend to be nice. I'm unquestionably evil. Then again, I don't even consider myself human. I see your point. You know, when I was feel fine, there was a stray kitten at the parking lot at night, and we were playing with it a little. But we had to go home, and I wasn't sure if the mother is around, and we had to go. But I feel a little regret leaving it behind. Not killing innocent because we are good people. To hell with that. Not killing innocent because we need a functioning society and don't want to pick the short end of the stick. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, thinking about humanity and the way people function is... Once you take a few steps back and you realize that the function of society is that most socio and psychopaths are actually the ones running the system. And that's why they get ahead, because they have no problem putting people in... delivery warehouses where they can't even go to the bathroom, getting paid minimum wage, while they get billions and, you do government lobbying and dodging taxes and whatnot. You could see how these people get to where they are. But people don't do themselves a service as they're unable to come together as a group. They're too divided because of their lack of empathy. If people were able to empathize with others, it would be nearly impossible for this small minority of people to take advantage of them. But every time there is a protest against unfair working conditions or, let's use the Blizzard scenario, I wouldn't even call it harassment, I'd call it sexual abuse in the workplace. No one gives a shit because it doesn't directly affect them. That's why these fucks get away with it. Because humans only care about themselves. And these people know that, which is why divide and conquer is a valid strategy. You keep communities divided, and it's easy to deal with, pockets of discourse and dissatisfaction. And whose fault is it except our own? I mean, I am just as guilty as everyone else. I mean, how many social issues have I turned a blind eye on in my 20 plus years being on the planet? Because doesn't affect me, right? What do I give a shit? I mean, we let it happen. We let it happen. I mean, choosing not to act is still a choice. Just because you did nothing doesn't mean you're not complicit. You chose to do nothing. There's a difference between not being aware of something and choosing to do nothing about something. You know? There's a big difference. Huge. Astronomical. There's a difference between not being aware that the other room down the hall is on fire and seeing the smoke and choosing to ignore it. Hearing the fire alarm and choosing to ignore it. It makes me sad. It's a mixture of disgust and sadness. It's sadness because I accept that most people won't change because it's in their very nature to be that way. And that's the thing that's made people survive for as long as they have. But at the same time, it's testament that we are nothing but animals with clothes on. We are no better. We haven't evolved beyond that point. We've developed language and technology, but we have not socially and culturally evolved beyond that point. We still ignore the suffering of others because it's more convenient to do so. We don't have the luxury of ignorance. We can't feign ignorance. It's right out there in front of our eyes. We can see it. We choose to ignore it. That's on us. Collectively. Myself included. That's why it's sad. This is the meme, the scientific meaning of the meme. Choosing to consider consequences but doing is act without thinking. Heartbreaking. I am editing this out as a clip. Let's return to our regularly scheduled depression. I don't know. I might tell the story later on, but yeah, it was something I heard. It was I was talking to some people, and they're like international business people, and they were over in the US, you know, California and other states and Silicon Valley and all that sort of place, and they were at conventions, you know, business conventions, right? Everyone's far away from home. And they were staying at these hotels. And across the street from the hotel is the convention center. And they'd go to the convention center and they went to the bar. And they go to the bar at the convention center and this is all these beautiful ladies. I'm hearing this secondhand, by the way. But all these beautiful ladies, like model tier, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, you know, like classy. And turns out a big chunk of them are escorts. And the kicker was that this hotel, they basically, this hotel is across the street from the convention center. So the hotel itself, the company that owns the hotel owns the convention center. But they also know about the prostitution. They actually kind of, you know, incentivize it because they know that the prostitutes are going to get rooms hired in the hotel, which is why the hotel offers 12-hour bookings. You know, not 24-hour, but 12-hour, you know. It's better for the escorts and better for the hotel, right? And one of these guys was telling me that, you know, he was at the bar and like been there, done that. But he had a conversation with one of them. And it was just out of curiosity, like, you know, why are you here? What are you doing? The girl he was talking to had 2 siblings and 2 parents. Obviously, 2 parents, mummy and daddy. That's how she was born. You know, when mummy and daddy love each other very much. And she was there because she's supporting to get her siblings through high school. She was the eldest. Her mum and dad were working their butts off, and unfortunately the father got injured on the job. His insurance wasn't good, so he's unable to work, but his medical expenses aren't being covered. And the mother's struggling to provide for 2 kids and a partner. So the eldest, before she turned 18, started working as an escort. Story's more common than you think. I mean, there are some people that get into those type of things, you know, for the quick money. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are. I'm sure there's plenty of people that are like, well, I like sex and I get paid for it. Who gives a fuck? Power to you. But there is also an astronomical number of people that do it out of desperation. And then you've got the enormous number of people that engage and solicit these types of services that kind of are aware of this, but really they don't care because, I mean, at the end of the day, for them, they're not dealing with a human, but they're dealing with an object. They don't look at these people as people. They look at them as just, you'll do for tonight. Humanity is... well, let's just leave it at that. Here's my view of the world. Hell is around the corner. The things we see are just sugarcoating to cover the ugly reality. What we see are the symptoms of a much worse problem. Crime rates, poverty, homelessness are symptoms of a much larger problem within society and in the world. We just choose to ignore it. Like a bad cough that never goes away. We choose to ignore it until we start coughing up blood, at which point, oh, look at that. You've got stage 3 cancer. Good luck with that. Who could have known?
It looks like the healing magic did its job perfectly. How are you feeling, young lady? I'm sure you're hungry. Eat before it gets cold. Here.
It does hit close to home. Have you heard the rat utopia experiment? I have. They stopped breeding after a certain point in time, even though they had all the resources they needed. That's why they stopped doing experimentation with mice.
As long as you're here, you're free from any kind of danger. When you wake, you'll still be in this bed. You have my guarantee, as head butler of the Pleiades.
Thank you very much.
Please, think nothing of it. Now that I've taken you in, I will ensure your safety to the best of my ability.
Why didn't anyone try to help
They cannot hurt you now. You're all right.
But nobody came. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. It doesn't cost you anything. By all means, if someone's an asshole, beat the shit out of them. I don't care. You have my blessing. I'll even help. But in a world where you can be anything, be kind. You lose nothing.
Please don't concern yourself. For a man such as myself, it is an honor to be the shoulder a woman can lean on.
But it's so clean. I really hate to get it dirty.
You know what this tells me? That she got abused when she spilled blood or something or made something dirty. It's difficult to explain the type of rage that I feel just listening to this. I know this is an anime, but I don't like weak people being abused. I don't like it. I really don't. It makes me go to a very weird place.
Here, take it. A handkerchief that goes unused is a thing to be mourned. After all, it exists so you may dry your tears and keep moving forward.
Can we get a medal and give it to this guy? He is best boy. He's just become best boy of the whole anime.
Now then, you should get some rest. When you're ready, we will discuss what comes next.
What do you mean, comes next?
I'm sure staying in the capital is out of the question. Is there anywhere else you can go? Unfortunate. But expected. Is it all right if I ask for your name?
My name is Tuare, sir.
A fine name indeed. Oh, yes, forgive me. I haven't told you mine yet, have I? My creator blessed me with the name SEBAS AND TUARE. But please, feel free to call me Sebas from now on.
Okay.
Someone give this man a medal. Sebastian said he leads the Pleiades, which would be the maids. The Pleiades are the 7 daughters of the Titan Atlas, turned into a group of stars in Greek mythology. Is Atlas the one that carries, like, the world on his shoulders? What? Christian, did you just copy and paste what Primal said? Mate, that's like the same comment, like 2 lines later.
Something the matter?
Okay, seriously, this one's beginning to piss me off.
I have to ask, what are you ultimately planning to do with that woman?
That woman. Oh, so now you identified that she's a woman, whereas before she was an object. That's a very interesting psychological thing you have going there. I'm not going to describe what I feel like doing. But let's just say it involves cheese cutting wire in her neck.
Her name is Tuare.
Its name?
Oh, now it's back to it, is it? Oh, okay.
I do not know the reasons you had for bringing that thing into this house, but it received those injuries from being exposed to certain types of people.
Really? Well, excuse me if she was exposed to the certain types of people that might be similar to you.
Whoever did this to it will be very displeased when they find out it's still alive. They'll
Oh, you must be speaking from experience.
come looking.
If
Then let them fucking come. It saves us the trouble of tracking them down. By all means, leave the front door open. I'll even leave a weapon to make it fair.
Looking.
If, and I do mean if that happens, then I will deal with it accordingly.
And it will be fun.
For now, I want you to wait and see what happens for a little while. Or can't you do that, Solution?
Solution? She doesn't seem like a solution. She seems like a problem. Seriously, she's pissing me off. She's been in this anime 5 minutes and I already hate her. I don't care whose balls she came out of. She's a bitch.
I developed the God Flash and Field so I can beat you. And if I combine the 2 of them, I will. Blade technique. Whistling wind. How? There's no way.
The disrespect.
What's wrong? Are you tired already?
I wonder if holy water would work on her.
That sharp little clipper of yours did wonders for my nails. Perhaps I should block with the other hand.
You're alive? She's evil. A lot of Nazarik's people are extremely Hitler-level evil. Hitler was, well, let's just say a very special case. His psychology was actually a lot more simple than you realize. Hey, that's not how you sit up your sword. The blade is cutting into the scabbard. I know that because I accidentally did that to my own sword. Flip it the other way, you asshole!
Where am I?
You look awful.
Ainz is supposed to be evil? Well, he's doing a pretty crappy job at it.
Gazif, am I still dreaming?
Where's this guy?
Where did we meet again? The championship of the Royal Matches, right? I barely managed to win that bout. It was the closest match of my life, from my first day to now.
I know you. Unglaus. Brain Unglaus?
Gazif. Stronov.
Talk to me. What the hell happened?
See, I don't believe people that are just pure evil are able to become the next level of evil because they have no frame of reference. You must understand what goodness is in order to be evil. Without a concept of the opposite, you are nothing. It's like something without ever being tested. How do you know how pure it is? You can't. It needs a point of reference. And what's even more evil? Just being evil or having goodness and ignoring it entirely? I personally believe that is even more evil because you are choosing to be evil rather than simply being evil.
I found out how weak I really am.
Without a choice, how can you truly be anything?
And it's not just me. It's all of us, Gazif. We're all nothing. Our skill with the sword amounts to garbage in the face of monsters. Just because we're human, an inferior race.
Goes without saying. Every warrior should understand their own limitations. But a monster's strength is a height to work toward. That's why you fight. Close the gap. Reach those new heights.
Yeah, but there's a different means to everything. I mean, a sword is nice and sharp for cutting meat and bodies, but you wouldn't use it to cut a tree. You need an axe. And the same way an axe is good for chopping down a tree, this isn't necessarily the most practical to use to chop down humans. Unless, of course, they're wearing armor, in which case you want a mace. I mean, it's a different tool for a different problem. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Kuma, Solution's name is probably because she is a demon slime, which is a high-level slime species. She melts through any creature she devours, so the name Solution fits. Well, there goes my idea of dissecting her body parts piece by piece while keeping her alive using intravenous liquid. She'll just recover like a slime. Shit. Yeah, I'm sure I'll come up with a new torture method. We need a giant oven or a pan with oil. Like a deep fryer. Yeah, that'll work. What's the melting point of her? We want to get it, close there. You know what's really cool? And you guys are going to love this. Bees and wasps. There was this wasp that went into a beehive. And you know what the bees did? They let the wasp come inside. And what the wasp usually does is that it marks beehives because it's a scout wasp. And so once it marks the beehive, the other wasps can find it when they're flying around. The bees know this. And they also know that they can't take out the wasp one-on-one. So the bees let the wasp go inside. But do you know what the wasp didn't know? That the bees have a 1-degree melting point higher than the wasp. So what the bees did was surround the wasp and start vibrating together, raising their core body temperature up, effectively cooking the wasp alive, while the bees were okay. Sometimes we can learn a lot from animals.
You're wrong! The level I'm talking about can't be reached. No matter how hard we fight or how far we manage to push ourselves, the human race won't see those heights. That's the truth, plain and simple.
You saw something that extreme?
Yes, I did. A summit of strength that humans will never climb up to. No, what I saw wasn't even a height. I was so utterly lacking in ability that it was just a game. It was almost funny. Heed me.
I mean, we had wasps on the tree here. You know what I did? Burnt them. I took a lighter and I sprayed the lighting liquid on the end of a big cardboard thing that we used for furniture, and I set the end on fire. It wasn't burning very bright, so I had to try to get it to burn the wasp nest. And then it actually hit to where the lighter fluid was and the thing just exploded. But luckily I managed to get the wasp nest on fire. I burnt their nest. Fuck those wasps. They were like, we're gonna sting you! And I'm like, you're still gonna die, motherfucker.
Pursuing strength through the sword is a fool's errand. In the face of true strength, rubbish. I'm glad I got to see you one last time. Now I can die.
Hey, that's enough! Sit down. Eat something.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got nothing against sadists. I know many of them. But there's a difference between being, destructively sadistic and then being controlled. I know a lot of sadists. I mean, a lot of them are good fighters. They just love the shit.
And then move on.
They also make great teachers. I've got nothing against sadists. Ooh, that is beautiful! I like that. Side, in, cut the windpipe, and spine, push outward. Beautiful technique. I approve. 10 out of 10. Did you see that? Cover the mouth, in. Love that. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Beautiful. Fucking beautiful. Look at that. Right there. Right inside. Beautiful execution. I like you already. Are you available? Oh, look, you have a sister. I like it. Hey, 2 for the price of 1. Things are getting better.
Everything is ready here. Flawless.
I know. I was watching you. I'm moving to the next location. This won't be worth the trip if we don't catch the biggest fish possible.
We should move in to attack as well. What about them?
Probably goofing around since they're just watching.
The hell they are. They're lying in wait near the village in case of emergency. Anyway, I'm off. You two continue according to plan.
Ooh.
Won't do much, but it should buy us what little time we'll need. If we can't strike a blow that will turn things around, this is futile.
Lovely. It burns so well.
I hope the people of the village...
Wait, that's a woman? Oh god. It's like Reinhardt female version. I am afraid.
...village can get away from it in time.
I'd be just as wary of the smoke as the fire. Remember, we're burning the plant that diabolical drug black dust is made from.
I was gonna say death by snoo. Happy needs protein. You have protein. No! The spirit is not willing.
Breathe lightly. What now? We're burning a different site than this?
That's the plan. We have to strike where we can. If we aren't vigilant, black dust will spread across the kingdom just like this wildfire.
Problem is, they have so many outposts for cultivating the drug you could cover half the map with them.
Wait, they're making drugs? So this is a poppy field. I like.
Eight Fingers really is a gigantic organization.
Oh, right. So Eight Fingers, the guy that was also running that brothel raping the young girls, is the guy making drugs, and you're attacking his men. I will allow this. You may proceed.
Terrifying, right? An underworld syndicate so large, they could undermine a nation.
Look on the bright side. That gives you more people to kill.
We finished everything as planned, fiendish leader.
And we left no evidence of our identity. Tina, did you find anything?
Not at all.
Nothing valuable.
Ugh, I hope Shorty had better luck.
I've returned.
Happy hunting, Evil Eye?
You tell me. Catch.
What's with the mask?
What is this?
Code, maybe?
Probably.
This could be the lead on Eight Fingers we've been waiting for.
I bring this meeting to order.
Ooh, so terrifying. You're wearing cloaks.
There are several items on the agenda, but one requires urgent attention. Vilma?
Yes. Well,
Let me guess, you run the brothels.
Word has it one of your cultivation facilities came under attack by a group of unknown assailants.
I was mistaken. She makes the drugs.
It was. Hell of a mess, that. It was a village where we produced the drug in mass. Won't be cheap to replace. This loss could put a bit of a squeeze on our distribution and sales.
And you have no information on the attackers?
Shelter is more of a torture you to death and then fuck your corpse kind of sadist. Demiurge is pretend to be nice while torturing you psychologically and then skinning you alive kind of sadist. Oh. I mean, I personally prefer torturing you to death, resuscitating you, and then torturing you again. But whatever.
None at all. They left nothing for us to find.
I never understood the corpse fucking, but then again, Shaltir is a walking corpse, so, you know.
Of course, the flawless execution could be the key to their identity.
Hey, why don't you bring us in on it?
Hmm?
Your group of nobodies is worthless. They can't protect Jack.
Think I'll pass, thanks. I can't afford to let you know the location of all my sites now, can I?
In that case, I'd like to take you up on that offer.
Sure about that, Coco doll? Last I checked, your purse was light.
Don't worry, Zero, darling. True, the slave trade is hurting, especially after the Golden Prince has prohibited it, but
Oh god, you're the prostitute guy, aren't you?
I have a nest egg in my coop.
What you mean is you have something major going down. I'm in.
Lovely. I've had a bit of a problem come up with a woman who was scheduled to be disposed of. I'm afraid it will take more than my perfectly manicured hands to deal with it.
Perfectly manicured? Wow, I wonder how much you would squeal when I start chopping them off centimeter by centimeter with a goddamn garden plier.
I need some excessive force to keep my business up, understood?
Shaltir prefers the same sex as partners. I will allow this.
That's what the Six Arms does best. We'll protect your property. And if things get hairy, we'll handle it with a smile.
Petalgus came out of nowhere talking about his fingers. I think when it comes to sadism, I'm more of the... I don't know how you would classify it, but I effectively would like to make people feel how their victims feel. So they actually understand what they've been doing and not type of pain they've been causing. Because there's absolutely no point in torture for its own sake. There needs to be a reason behind it. Otherwise, you're just inflicting pain for its own point, which is kind of pointless. Okay, no. Yeah? You want to get a point across. And it's only once they actually understand what they've been committing to others. You kind of want them to go through that whole mental process of realization that this is what they've been doing to others. And then make them feel despair. And then hopefully make them feel like there's some hope that they can be redeemed and live. And only when they have hope can you actually extinguish what's left of their lives. I mean, taking someone out that knows they're going to die is completely pointless. You want them to have a little bit of hope that they'll survive. Only then can you truly torture them. I mean, that's how torture works. Without something to take away, torture's not actually torture. I mean, inflicting pain on someone that's broken and accepts it isn't torturing anybody. That's just being a brute. You know? Torture is true suffering. It's an art form. I have read a fanfic where Harry Potter's aunt and uncle were tortured to death. Her by a burning pen and him by being beaten with death with a belt. That doesn't sound painful at all. I felt like you would do that part of Redo the Healer. Haven't seen it. You said Irons is doing a bad job of being a villain. I agree. He's doing a horrible job! He saved random people in a forest from goblins and gave them a horn and then saved the village and went on adventures and... I mean, that doesn't sound like the main antagonist to me. He's not exactly making me quake in my boots and pee the bed. It's kind of like... I mean, he's like what a teenager considers a bad guy to be, you know? He's not exactly threatening. I mean, his servants are threatening, but he himself is not, you know? That was all for scouting information. He was getting used to the role. Hasn't he already had a little bit of experience? Like, he's guild leader, for fuck's sake. They're supposed to be terrifying. And I'm not terrified. His servants are so threatening he doesn't need to be. Oh, so they're wolves led by a sheep. I am quaking in my boots. I'm more terrified of sheep led by a wolf than wolves led by a sheep. You need to lead by example. He needs to, like, go and eat a lizard baby or something. He needs to assert his dominance by eating a lizard baby. He needs to just go over there and eat a lizard baby in front of everybody. Just for the shits and giggles. Because it's evil. Ainz, I command you to eat a lizard baby right now. Why? You're supposed to be evil. You're not coming across as evil. I need more evil, damn it. Alright. Sebas saves girl. Nature of humanity. Yep, I had a discussion. Good shit.
Hey, did I hand you a shrinking potion by accident? I could have sworn that was the gender swapping one.
Don't be hating. She's fun size, that's all. She doesn't even have to get on her knees to blow.
You want to add anything to that conversation?
Nope, I'm good. In fact, I think your new size makes you an even more formidable and stealthy ninja.